Washington, D.C., 1971. The city is in turmoil. The Vietnam War rages overseas. Anti-war protests fill the streets. Watergate is still a year away. The police force is stretched, distracted, politically pressured from every direction. And in the black neighborhoods of Southeast and Northeast D.C., a killer is hunting. He targets girls. Young black girls sent to the corner store, walking home from school, going about the ordinary business of their ordinary lives. He will take 6 of them. He will kill all 6. And when he is done, he will vanish. Completely, permanently, no arrest, no trial, no name, no face. The Freeway Phantom is the most prolific serial killer Washington, D.C. has ever produced. And most people have never heard of him. April 25, 1971. 13-year-old Carol Denise Spinks was sent by her older sister to buy groceries at the 7-Eleven, about half a mile from home in Southeast D.C. She never came back. 6 days later, her body was found on a grassy embankment beside Interstate 295. She had been strangled. She had been assaulted. Her shoes were missing. When Carol's mother first went to the police to report her daughter missing, she was told Carol had probably run away. She hadn't run away. She had been abducted and killed, and her body had been lying beside a freeway while police told her mother not to worry. It was a failure that would repeat itself again and again across the next 17 months. Just days after Carol Spinks disappeared, Washington, D.C. was paralyzed by the May Day protests of 1971, one of the largest acts of civil disobedience in American history. Tens of thousands of anti-war demonstrators flooded the city. Every available officer was pulled, including Romaine Jenkins, the D.C. Metropolitan Police Bureau's first female homicide detective, who had just been assigned to Carol's case. She was taken off it. The resources never fully returned, and while the city's attention was consumed by protests, politics, and the slow unraveling of the Nixon administration, a killer in Southeast D.C. was preparing to strike again. July 8, 1971. Darlenia Denise Johnson, 16 years old, disappeared from Northeast D.C. Her body was found days later, strangled, left near a freeway. 19 days after that, July 27th, 10-year-old Brenda Faye Crockett vanished after being sent to the store by her mother. That same night, the Crockett family's phone rang. Brenda's 7-year-old sister answered. It was Brenda. She told her sister she was all right, that a man was taking care of her, that she would be home soon. Her voice was calm, controlled. Investigators concluded the call had been made at the killer's instruction, to buy him time, to stop the family from calling the police, to keep the search from starting too soon. Brenda Crockett's body was found the following morning, off a road in Prince George's County. She had been strangled. 12-year-old Nenemoshia Yates was killed on October 1st, 1971. The city barely noticed. September 5th, 1972. 18-year-old Brenda Denise Woodard boarded a bus in Northeast D.C. She never reached her destination. Her body was found beside the Baltimore-Washington Parkway. She had been strangled. She had been assaulted, and in her pocket was a note, written in her handwriting, dictated by her killer. This is tantamount to my insensitivity to people, especially women. I will admit the others when you catch me, if you can. He had made her write it before he killed her. It was a message to the police, taunting, deliberate, composed, and it contained a word that would later become critical, tantamount, an unusual word, not common in everyday speech. Someone used it with confidence. Someone knew what it meant. 17-year-old Diane Williams was abducted on September 18, 1972, just 13 days after Brenda Woodard. She was found near a freeway on the outskirts of D.C., strangled, The same signature, the same disposal. She was the sixth victim. After Diane, the killings stopped. The Freeway Phantom was never heard from again, at least not in connection with any confirmed crime. Why he stopped has never been established. Whether he died, was imprisoned for another offense, or simply walked away is unknown. He has never been identified. Investigators developed several suspects over the years, but one stood out. Robert Askins was a convicted kidnapper and rapist with a violent history. He had been charged with homicide 3 times, never convicted. When detectives searched his desk, they found something. Court documents inside them. The word tantamount. Colleagues confirmed Askins used the word regularly in conversation. It was apparently a favorite of his. Investigators also found photographs of young women and girls. Women's scarves, a knife, an essay written in a young girl's handwriting, but they could not find physical evidence placing Askins at any of the crime scenes. No DNA, no witnesses, no forensic link. He was never charged in connection with the Freeway Phantom murders. Robert Askins died in prison in 2010, serving time for other crimes. He took whatever he knew with him. 6 girls murdered. A taunting note to police. A phone call made from beside a victim who was still alive. And almost nothing in the national media. The Freeway Phantom case received virtually no coverage outside Washington, D.C. There was no national manhunt, no FBI task force, no primetime specials. Criminologists and journalists who have revisited the case are unambiguous about why. The victims were black, they were poor. They lived in neighborhoods that mainstream America and mainstream media had already decided not to pay attention to. Families of the victims have spoken for decades about feeling dismissed by police, told their daughters had run away, told not to worry, told to wait. One mother waited 6 days before her daughter's body was found on a highway embankment less than 3 miles from home. Had these 6 girls been white, the case would be a household name. The coverage would have been relentless, the pressure on investigators enormous. Instead, the case drifted into silence. Carol Denise Spinks was 13. Darlenia Denise Johnson was 16. Brenda Faye Crockett was 10. Nenomoshia Yates was 12. Brenda Denise Woodard was 18. Diane Williams was 17. They were children. They were daughters. They were going about their lives in the city their families called home. Their killer taunted the police. He made one of them write a message for him before he took her life. He called another's home to keep her family quiet while she was dying. And he was never caught. 50 years later, their names are largely unknown outside of true crime circles and the D.C. communities that lost them. No memorial, no museum exhibit, no Hollywood film, just 6 case files, 6 names on a list, 6 families who never got an answer. If you take nothing else from this video, take their names: Carol, Darlenia, Brenda, Nenomoshia, Brenda, Diane. They deserved better from the city that failed them. They deserve better from history.